talking about, obviously, the breaking news. Arsenal have just been crowned champions of the Premier League few minutes ago. Joining me on this show are Aubrey, a lifelong Chelsea fan, and Mr. Infinity Gift, a diehard Barcelona fan. Guys, this is Arsenal's first Premier League win in 22 years. I must say, kudos to them, first of all. Aubrey, let me start with you. Your thoughts on the game, Man City and Bournemouth a few minutes ago.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations to the Arsenal for the league win. I think it's been a long time coming. They've been on this road for like 4 years now, and then finally they were able to get it over the line. So congrats to the team, the staff, and the fans. I think it's long overdue, and yeah, at least City tried to like make it like an exciting title race, because like I said initially, this titles was Arsenal to lose, and maybe like towards the end of the season, City tried to drag themselves back in the race by winning Arsenal, and then but I was very unsure about City's consistency as regards to like the previous Pep teams. This team was still like he had to rush into the market by January to buy Semenyo, Gueye, and all these guys, but they were still lacking something. And when players like Kevin De Bruyne left the team, Mahrez, so this team is rebuilding. Kyle Walker, I think it was just too early, and then Arsenal like found themselves where it felt like, even with their mistakes and their panic, because if you watch Arsenal against Burnley yesterday, it was really like a game of just trying to scrabble up and just grab a 3 point. And secondly, they have been very lucky. Don't take anything away from like Arsenal. Arsenal have been very lucky in this whole like this title season. You like talking about the West Ham goal, and then yesterday Havertz was supposed to be sent off for a very obvious red card. But then, so what? Yeah, like what can we say? They've won it, and then congrats to them. I think they actually deserve it.
Yeah, congrats to them. Gift, your thoughts?
Well, it's a massive congratulations to Arsenal. It's been a long time coming, going four straight seasons on second position, and it was just, father and the mother luck was just supposed to happen
the
this
maid of
time,
the maid
no
of
matter what.
honor is now the bride.
Yeah, so if they didn't win it this season, it would have been an injustice, because the beginning of this, in fact, by January, City were nowhere to be found.
Mm.
Arsenal were like 8 to 13 points ahead of everybody, and then City just came up like that. They've done this thing before, and I wasn't really happy about it. I think that whole season, I think Suarez was still in Liverpool as at that time. That whole season, almost the whole season, Liverpool were just top of the table. Then the penultimate match of the season, Chelsea beat Liverpool just a week to the end of the season. So within those 7 days, Man City climbed the table and then won the league. That's injustice. So I really did not want that kind of thing to happen again. So congratulations to Arsenal. They put in the work. Ateta,
Yeah.
bought the missing pieces that he needed. And kudos to Kai Havertz. I think if Kai Havertz did not come back, it might be an uphill task for them. But he reduced the pressure on the team, and then they are champions. That's it.
Okay. So listen, right. So I do not think it's good to say that Arsenal are lucky. I mean, you cannot be on top of the table based on
Yeah,
luck. I mean,
it's not
they
it's
To
played
not
win
their
the
just
league,
role.
it's not just
every,
luck. It's not
for
just
you
luck.
to win the league, everything
Hmm.
has to be for
You
you.
have you need
Play
luck.
well,
Like, you need luck
luck
on your side.
also has to
Yeah,
play a
yeah.
part for you. So
You need luck on your
everything
side.
has to be. is good for them, and I'm happy for them for winning the
Yeah.
league.
When I
I
when I
love
when I talked about Arsenal being lucky, I'm not taking anything away from
Yeah.
like what they have achieved. Hmm? But I can't remember any champion of the Premier League that has been without any luck on their side. It's part and integral to winning the Premier League because like it's a long season. Firstly, 38 games. So like you're not going to be consistent for that 38 games. So you're hoping to pick as many points as possible, and also you're hoping for your like rivals to drop points. So that is luck. That is like you actually pick what you can, and then you hope for the best. Look at yesterday; they pick up the 3 point that was necessary, and then they like go back home to pray that today um, Bournemouth can take a point from City, and this is it. So it's part and parcel. I know when Arsenal hear me talking about luck, and then they would rain all the all the disasters on my head. But I'm just saying that it's part and parcel of being champions, and to me,
Yeah.
they deserve to be champions. They have applied themselves this season. They have been defensively very solid. Uh, and I think what Arsenal have right now, which they have been lacking in the past, is that that itch to grind out results, like when everything is tough, and then they just
Yeah.
get one go in, bam. And I'm surprised as well. I'm very surprised that Arteta, having been Pep's student, is actually more of a Mourinho student to me. Actually, I don't know if, but I think he is
No, I
leaning
think that
towards,
just happened this season.
yeah.
Arsenal have been
No,
playing
since
very
last
good.
season they have been he's been
They have
he's
been
been
playing
really focused on the defensive part of the game, which I've always said something about that. Mourinho said that defense wins you titles and attack win you games, and it's something that has worked for different managers and different teams over the years.
We
if
gift.
you look at Arsenal,
Yeah, we
they've been
gift.
playing
Wait, hold on. We gift you
for
before you jump in, right? Okay. Let's just try not to talk over each other, right? But gift. And do you think that that Arsenal are more matured mentally now that they were able to win this title?
of course. If you win, if you achieve your aim, it gives you more confidence. Their aim this season was to win the Premier League, and that they have done. It gives them an edge over every other person, and even gives them an edge in the Champions League final as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
So, if you watch when Pep and Manchester City beat Arsenal in that Carabao Cup, he gave Man City a level of confidence, and that demoralized Arsenal. So Arsenal had to pick up themselves. If after that match, I think their next 3 games they were not performing well, and that has a way of dealing with you in anything you're doing. So as soon as they got their hands on that Carabao Cup, Man City picked up again, and Arsenal were just dropping points and dropping points. But at a point, they picked up themselves and they are champions. So this win and this title triumph will certainly give them more confidence in
Right.
the long
And Aubrey, let me ask you this. So do you think that this title has completely changed Ateta's legacy at Arsenal?
Yes, of course, of course. And if we add the UCL title to this, then you're actually looking at an Arsenal great. Yeah,
Mhm.
because firstly, he has been able to build not just a team that is winning the title, but he's built a winning team over 4 years. Winning because they have been close. So this is not one of those seasons where just like a surprise team just comes and then win the title. No, this has been brewing in the pot. Like
Okay.
they have been consistent in the last 4 years. Mm? So getting this out, like getting the title over the line, and when you put in context that Pep is leaving, and then next season we have new coaches coming in, like young coaches coming in, and then Ateta will be one of the coaches that have been like one of the more experienced ones.
Yeah.
So and then off the back of a title and a Champions League final, you're looking at it, this may be kind of like a new dominant team if they are able to build on this title mentally. But for me, I think what Ateta has done and what he has achieved in Arsenal is very, very, very impressive.
Right. So, Gift, do you think that, well, you can add to what Aubrey has said if you want to, but let me just ask you this as well. Do you think that this title that Arsenal have just won now means more because they haven't won it in 24 years, or is it just a regular
is
triumph?
is is legendary because if you watch Arsenal from 2024, 2004, I guess, till now, you could see transition from coach to coach, from big names to big names, from players to players. Even the great Arsene Wenger could not repeat winning the title.
Yeah.
So this is legendary. You cannot take anything away from Arteta. If he now wins the Premier League, if he wins the Champions League, then people might begin to rate him above Wenger because Wenger couldn't do it in how many years? In over 20 years. And Arteta in 4 5 years has done it. So this is a big, 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 big accolade for Arteta and the boys. So you cannot take anything away from them.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree. Who do you guys think is Arsenal's um, most important player this season? Aubrey.
It's been Declan Rice. He's been very consistent, and then he's been very fit. Like, it's because one of the key things about being important is being available, and he has
Yeah,
made himself like available over the course of the
yeah,
seasons. And like, every match is giving you 8 out of 10. Every match is giving you 8 out of 10, and that alone, he does his job.
yeah,
Because some players, you may argue, oh, this player is very, but first and foremost, what is your job in the team?
yeah,
You do your job first, and then you can add the necessary things that you need to add. His job is not to score goals. His job is to cover ground, and he does that like excellently well. So I even think he should be the PFA player like of the season, because he's that important. And when I watched him yesterday against Burnley, you know he running, those very vital tackles, impressive. So yeah, for me, it's Declan Rice.
yeah. And Gift, do you agree with that, or do you have another player in mind?
I do agree. I do agree. No, in today's football, people tend to talk about those that are scoring goals and giving assists. And
Mm.
most of those people do not watch the matches they talk about. They just go online. Who scored? Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz is the best player. But if you take your time to watch these matches, you see that there are so many players that are better than even those who score more goals. Declan Rice has shown that Arsenal's game flow through him. He's the first man you see when you are counter-attacking Arsenal. He's the first man you see when Arsenal is trying to counter-attack. So, and he has done really well. Just like Aubrey said, he does his job very well.
Yeah,
So, if you are employed to do a job and you do it very well, nobody should take anything away from you. So, Declan Rice is certainly Arsenal's best player for me.
fantastic. So, do you guys think that Arsenal are genuinely the best team in England?
When it comes to the Premier League, there's no fluke title. You can have a fluke season, but then
Yeah,
once you are able to win the title, this is not a fluke. They are the best team in the land. They are the one of the best teams in Europe, as like one of the best teams in the world. So like, we can banter Arsenal because of their, but now that they have gotten it over the line, winning the
yeah,
Premier League, there's still room there to banter because banter, no matter what you do, when people are bantering Madrid, it seems like Madrid. So it's normal, all these things is just normal to banter and stuff like that, because even other teams, there were teams that, I mean, there were times that Chelsea were winning it, times that United were winning, but right now it's Arsenal's turn, and that
mm.
is what football is about. Hopefully, this era doesn't really last longer than expected.
As a Chelsea fan. So I can say that
Yeah.
Arsenal are not just the best team in England. They are currently the best team in the world. Yes, PSG is
I
in the
would I
top.
wouldn't agree with that, but it's fine.
I'll give you the reason.
Okay.
Now
Okay.
they're currently in the Champions League final with PSG. and they are the only team yet to lose a game.
Mm.
So football is based on results. No matter what you do, if you
Yeah.
play football and you don't get the results,
Mm.
it's null and void.
Yeah.
So now Arsenal, for me, even though I don't like to say it, but Arsenal is the best team in the world. They are the Premier League champions, and all those big names, they are not in the Champions League final. And even the PSG that are in the Champions League final with them have lost a game or two in the run into this final. Arsenal has not lost any. They just
Mm.
two draws, and that was in the same quarter final and semi final. So
Yeah,
for
exactly.
me,
So
until PSG beat them in that final, Arsenal are the best team in the world.
okay, so we'll talk about that, right? But Aubrey, just have a look at this comment from Mr. Flex. I don't know who this is, but he says, can you see this on your screen? He says, so
I
this
don't
one
know.
where
I'm
Aubrey.
not seeing the live stuff on my screen actually.
Okay, let me read out the comment then. Okay, and let me
Okay.
read it out. So there is a comment from Mr. Flex, and he says that so this one where Aubrey they compliment Arsenal. Please, is that a clone? So obviously you are known, so you are known to always banter Arsenal. So Mr. Flex is surprised that you are giving Arsenal their flowers tonight.
Well, when a team, as like when champions are, because to win the title is not easy. I was hoping that they would kind of like do the usual, but they haven't. This season they have done what is needed of them to do by grinding out the title. So I think the barest minimum that you can do as a football lover is to appreciate the fact that they've won the league, and they've won the league in very very good fashion to me. Kind of like that old fashioned football where one
Yeah.
zero is enough. Mm? 1-0 is enough. This, like, they went into the running even after the setback against City, and then they had this very kind of like tricky fixtures against West Ham. Although I feel like they were lucky in that game to actually come out with a win. Then against Burnley yesterday, 1-0 against. So this running has been tricky, and then I really fancy the way they have handled it this time around.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, it's just normal for you to look at what Arsenal have done, what Ateta has done, and then you give it up. The season is over already, so you congratulate, but then on to the next one.
Yeah, exactly. And gift. So before you come in, there is another comment from Emeka, our club captain, and he's a Man United fan, and he's just said, "Congratulations to Arsenal." So yes, we do not banter Arsenal from a place of hate. We actually do love and appreciate Arsenal, even though we are not Arsenal fans. So so Arsenal, here are your flowers. Take your flowers. Congratulations on your win. But gift, let me come to you now. Since we're talking about Arsenal, let's just go on to talk about the Champions League final at the end of this month. Do you think that Arsenal will get over the line against PSG?
Well, going into that final, PSG, they've concluded their league a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think last weekend. And then they were already champions before they played the match, their own match, I think so. So, and they have this thing they do in that league where they are able to rest their starting 11 and come fresh for Champions League. Look at Dembele, for example. I don't think Dembele has played up to 19 games in the league this season, but he has played every Champions League game. So when they have a Champions League game, they keep resting all their players. But right now, the Champions League is like one week plus away. So
Mm.
Arsenal, they haven't concluded the league now. They can afford to use their young boys to play
Yeah.
their any match. So everybody will come out fresh.
Mm.
Then one important thing in that final is that in the last match, Usman Dembele got off injured, and nobody knows if he's going to recover before the final. Without a doubt, Dembele is their best player. But not to say that PSG cannot do anything without Dembele. PSG can beat any team without Dembele. But currently, Dembele is their best player. He's their star boy. He gives them confidence whenever he's around. So if Dembele recovers for that final, I don't see Arsenal beating PSG.
Right.
Yeah.
Aubrey, your thoughts on the final?
Uh, well, because firstly, before I go on to comment about the Champions League final, Gift was saying that Arsenal to him is the best team in the world, which I feel like, to me personally, to the way I enjoy football and the way I would love my team to win. And this whole thing about PSG racing players, this it's been years that this has been going on. It's just that people are now starting to notice because they won the last Champions League, and then they are on the road to winning another. Like they are in the Champions League final again. But this has always been League One. This has always been even the Bundesliga. They have been doing this because even like the Bayern Munich, sometimes once they wrap up their game, their league early, they start rotating. It's been happening. It's not just about this season or last season or this thing. So it's part of it. It's just that in England we have all the games are important, and then like Arsenal couldn't wrap up their the league title earlier, so they still had to put pressure and stuff like that. But yeah, football is a physical game, so the
Yeah.
physical aspect is very very important, like the physical state of your players. But without that, let's put that like aside. I enjoy watching PSG play. I enjoy the way they play. I enjoy the way they win. If you look back at the Champions League final last year, the way they dismantled like Inter Milan, that was
Okay.
complete outclass. So
Okay. Okay.
Arsenal are up against a different manager, a different beast.
Yeah.
People don't think that PSG can defend. PSG can defend if they want to. you know. So
Yeah.
like it's a very and Arsenal the past few matches, the attack is not as strong as possible. But then I feel like PSG will have enough flexibility to win Arsenal actually.
Okay. So, Gift, I'll come to you next, but I want the guys on the show to participate. So there is a comment here. Again, it's from Mr. Flex, and I'll just read this out. And Gift, I want you to respond to this. So Mr. Flex has said in the Champions League, especially in the knockouts, Arsenal have had a very easy run in. I can't say they are the best in Europe. So he's saying that in the Champions League, Arsenal have had quite easy games, and he doesn't think that they are the best. Your thoughts on this?
Yes, just like I said earlier, football currently is about results. Obi was talking about the way he wants his teams to win.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching good football, but then nobody cares. Nobody really cares about good football because if you watch Barcelona play, you enjoy the football, but every day they keep bantering them. They can't win the Champions League in 10 years. So nobody cares about that currently. I'm talking from a place of reality now.
Mm.
Nobody cares about that good football. Imagine a scenario where Arsenal does not play any good football in that final, and PSG does all the playing, and Arsenal
Yeah.
goes on to win. Who
To
will you
win from a
remember?
corner kick.
Thank you. Yesterday's match was it not a corner kick?
Ateta.
Yes. So if Arsenal goes on to win that match from a corner kick, and
Mm,
PSG had 80% possession, nobody will remember. Nobody will remember it. What they will know
mm.
is who won the tournament. It's Arsenal.
Fair
So
enough.
remember, Arsenal
Mm,
also beat Bayern Munich, who
Yes.
almost knocked PSG out. So you can't say they had easy runnings. Atletico removes Barcelona, and if you watch, it took Arsenal time before they could remove Atletico. So yes,
mm,
they had easier games than PSG. But then some of the people that Arsenal played, PSG also played them. For example, Bayern Munich. And Arsenal totally dismantled Bayern Munich. It was a 3-1 victory also. Arsenal had already played Atletico 4-0 earlier in the season when they were in form.
Yeah.
So towards this end of the season, Arsenal were just managing themselves, just grind out the victory and go home 1-0, 2-1, and they are done. That's what they just did towards the end. I
All
don't
right.
even I don't think Arsenal will win, but then if they come out to win, nobody will
Mm.
talk about PSG again. That's
mm.
that's that's the results. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, that's fair enough. So we've spoken about us now for 25 minutes. I think we've done pretty well. Let's move on to Pep Guardiola. I mean, the news broke yesterday that he's leaving, but he didn't confirm it today. after the game. But obviously, all the signs, all the writings are on the wall. It looks like he's going to leave after 10 years. And what do you guys think about that?
Guardiola. Guardiola, for me, is the best coach of all time. Over the years, Premier League fans used to, you know, talk about how other leagues are farmers' leagues, like the La Liga, the Bundesliga. How can one person win a league back to back? And that's the truth. Nobody was winning the Premier League back to back, but Pep Guardiola came and utterly shattered that record and made Premier League a farmers' league. Brought in Haaland. Haaland also came and made Premier League a farmers' league. So I can say that every league now is now a farmers league because of Pep Guardiola. He did so well in Barcelona. He did so well in Bayern Munich, and now he came to um, Manchester City. 20 titles, 20 trophies in 10
Yeah,
years. Wow, that's massive. And he was almost getting the Premier League again in one of his worst seasons. No, I think last season was Pep Guardiola's worst season ever, and this season was like the second worst season, and he got two trophies. So for a manager who, in his second worst season, got two trophies, wow. Massive respect to Pep Guardiola. He has done a lot. And if you watch the game today, everybody wants to channel the Pep Guardiola in them. All the teams are now trying to play out from the back because Pep Guardiola has done it and succeeded. If you check almost all the managers, they are just Pep Guardiola boys. Ateta, even the Maresca that has replaced Pep Guardiola, company in Bayern Munich, all of them, they're just trying to mirror what Pep Guardiola has done. So the guy really changed football, and I must say he's a legend of La Liga, a legend of Bundesliga, and now a
yeah.
legend of the Premier
Okay.
League.
Aubrey, let me ask you this, right? Obviously, I'm talking about Pep now, he's been at City for 10 years. So do you think that the Premier League would change after he's left?
Oh, what Pep has done, yes, he has kind of like reinvented football, and then reinvented the way the teams play in the Premier League, and you know, well, these new school managers, I think they are kind of like I like for me, I like what Ateta has done. He's been able to find himself away from the whole Pep philosophy. He has found his niche. And then we have, I think, rumor have it that Enzo Maresca, the former Chelsea coach,
Yeah.
will be the new City coach. And then like Enzo Maresca and Pep Guardiola, they are like very much alike. But Enzo Maresca is, kind of like he has his own way of playing, although the blueprint is there, but it has that flexibility, like added to it. So, this new school man, and then Jabi Alonso coming to Chelsea. So it's going to be, kind of like the first season in 10 years where Pep will not be participating. And then this new coach, Michael Carrick, in
Man
like
United.
Man United. We have Frank Lampard coming in from Coventry. These are veteran midfielders that actually I grew up watching. So now they are managers. Maybe we are getting old, but then yeah, football will continue to evolve. Football. What I
Absolutely.
like about football is that it's not a stagnant sport. People like really sometimes get stuck in a particular era of football, and then once it moves ahead, they find themselves cussing out, saying, "Oh, why is this thing is happening?" This football is a sport. As long as, like Gift said, as long as you're winning, as long as you're getting away with the 3 points, it's valid. Understand? So
Yeah.
you need to advance, like as the sport is advancing.
Mhm.
Pep Guardiola, came in with his slow build up,
Yeah.
this style of play, and he succeeded. He won 6 titles in 10 years. It doesn't mean you as like another coach you can do that. So you have to have your own way of playing, even though you're copying from the Pep blueprint. but you have to, have added layers of your own, understand, to it.
Yeah.
So football it's been nice, although sometimes it was a little bit kind of robotic, which I grew up watching that hard knock football where 4-4-2, who just play like
Ferguson
Mr.
Murray.
Chick will play the long ball to
Yeah.
Drogba. Drogba will hold it, turn his body, and then like it's a goal. But now it's hard for keepers to play from the back. But then maybe we can even go back to that. Who knows? So it's
Right. Yeah.
good as long as these variations are coming in. I don't know
True.
what
True.
Pep job will be like. I don't know if he wants to be the next Spanish team coach. I don't know what his future holds, but hopefully this is not his last job. This is not his last job because
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that appreciate what Pep has done for football. What Pep has,
Absolutely.
yeah, yes, he has added some like kind of like tactical layers to football, make it more technical than
Absolutely.
the physical battle that we actually grew up watching, and it's something that I've come to appreciate as an idea. So, um, kudos to Pep
Absolutely.
Guardiola. I hope like I actually wish him good luck in his next chapter. And there were rumors flying about his family, his personal family life, which I'm not someone that I don't really like to comment on people's family life and stuff like that. But I hopefully he takes time off just to focus on his family and just get things in order before maybe like he comes back to football. But yeah.
Yeah. True. Okay. Now, Gift. Do you think that City can dominate without Pep?
Oh, okay. Now, there was something I wanted to say, and thank God you came back to me. This
Okay.
is going to be the first time in 10 years that the big six, all of them have the chance to the trophy.
Wow.
Because with Pep around, he's already the number one. Everybody's already looking at Manchester City to win the title.
Mm,
But this is going to be the first time in 10 years that without Pep, everybody has a chance to win the trophy. Manchester United with Carrick new, Chelsea Alonso new. As Arteta is now the veteran amongst them.
Yeah.
Ateta is
Maresca,
now the student is now the teacher.
yeah. So Maresca, who was in Chelsea, now in Man City, new.
Mm,
So with all these new boys or new coaches, and I think the Shelby is going to be at Tottenham. I don't know if they
mm,
even qualify for next season. So it's the first time that everybody has equal chance to win the Premier League. So it now depends on who wants it more and who does. So it changes a whole lot of things because Pep, they are already, that Pep he has an advantage over every other person. But
mm.
now that Pep is not around, everybody has equal advantage in the title race.
Right. Let's react to this comment again by Mr. Flex. You probably can't see it, but I'll read it out. He says Guardiola to Man City, I mean to Man United might not happen immediately, but I can't rule that out. I can rule that out. I don't think
No,
that
I don't think it's
ever
happening.
come to Man United. I don't think that's ever
Mr.
gonna happen.
Mr. Flex. No, I don't think you should dream of. I know that you're a Chelsea fan and maybe you're just putting it out there, but Pep has even said it. He can't even like. I don't think Pep would want to even coach another team like in the Premier League. I don't think so. Talk less of a close city rival like United. No, that would be him. Putting a dent on his legacy in City.
Yeah, I don't see that
As
happening.
nah.
No, I feel Pep might just decide to go to another league, another big league, maybe the Serie A or
Yeah.
or the Ligue
Well,
1.
who knows?
Okay,
Going to
let's
Serie A,
take wait, Gift, hold on. So, Gift, so do you want to react to this comment again by Mr. Flex? He says, with what Ateta has done, why are you guys writing off a possible Ateta dominance?
Yes, that
Okay.
was that
that's
was
what
the
I said.
question I
He's
wanted
not
to
the
ask
veteran. He's not the
Gift.
veteran amongst all.
Yeah,
For
because
now, he's
Gift,
not the
sorry,
biggest
sorry,
in
Gift
the
said
coach.
something about next season. All the teams having like equal chances at the title.
Okay.
I don't agree with that because Arteta, like you said, is now the veteran. Is now the leader of the new school. So if it's going into next season off the back of his first Premier League title, I feel like Arsenal is now the team to beat. So all the coaches don't have equal grounds, and then
Yeah.
he has a team already, a young team that he can now add like more players to this team. So with the new coach coming in, and then Jabi Alonso will try to get acquainted to life in the Premier League, Michael Carrick, even like Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca may come in, and then he finds that the players available at City is not his ideal type of players. So he may need one or two transfer windows to actually even stamp his own playing style on the team. So I feel like Arsenal are the team, like are still like kind of like going into next season are the team to beat.
Yeah, but think about it, right? So Pep didn't have a good season this season because he didn't win the title, right? But he's
Mm.
won two domestic cups already. He's won the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, right?
Mm. Judging by Pep standard, yes, it's not been a successful season, but from other person standard, this is a successful season.
Yeah.
From
Yes.
any other person, because he has won the FA Cup, he has won the Carling Cup. People will say, "Oh, how much has he spent?" Yes, what is his net is net this thing, like expenditure. Hmm? So he has sold and he has bought. So he actually balances the book very well. He's won two trophies in his last season. So yes, he's not really gone according to plan, but he has bowed out as a legend and in the best possible star.
Now, this is what happens when you set a standard.
Yeah.
You know, Pep has set a whole high standard for himself that when he does some things that people are praying for, it becomes failure. Look at Haaland today. Haaland is still the top scorer in the Premier League, but people are
Yeah.
saying this season is bad for him. Why? Because the kind of the amount of goals he has been scoring before, he
Mm,
has not gotten up to that extent this season. He's currently the top scorer in the Premier League, but nobody is seeing that because Haaland used to bang goals, a lot
Yeah.
of goals. So when he has not met where he already set the standard, it becomes a failure. And people, other people are praying to get to that level. Meanwhile,
mm.
it's a failure to him.
Okay, let's move on to the show. So before we go to the next topic, and so let's talk about Mourinho going back to Madrid. But before we go there, right, and let me just ask Aubrey this because he's a Chelsea supporter. So do you think that Maresca can replace Pep realistically?
Enzo Maresca is a coach that I like very much, even while he was the Chelsea coach. I think one thing that I was very critical of him was that he never actually, to me, I don't know if it was the players available to him, but to me, Enzo Maresca is more of a cup manager than a league manager. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean.
Okay.
There are coaches that are very good in cup competitions. I'm talking about coaches like Thomas Tuchel. Thomas
Tuchel.
Tuchel is a very good cup manager, knockout manager. That's why I'm actually even like kind of like placing England in my top three to win the World Cup because of Thomas
Really?
Tuchel. He has a way of that one of kind of like running and stuff, but he's not a coach that can drag on for a 38 league game, which Pep Guardiola is a master of. Is a typical league coach, and then coaches like Hansi Flick is a very good league coach. But when it comes to Enzo Maresca, I was very critical of him as to because he usually drops points against weaker
Yeah.
oppositions, and if that is the case, if he sorts that out, that's why I'm saying that I don't want to judge him too early because let him go to City, let him experience a new environment, a new players, a new players with different mentalities. At least
Hmm.
he's going to City. City have proven winners. We have Alan there, one of the best strikers in the world. We have Rodri, one of the best holding midfielders like in the world, and then we have you have one of the best keepers in the world as well. So these are things that you can build on, and then I don't know if that changes his approach or whatever, but um, I think like when it comes to the league, Enzo Maresca still like I still need to get convinced as to how
Okay.
it is going to, kind of like approach the league season at City. But in cup competitions, Enzo Maresca is actually very good.
Okay, fair enough.
Mm.
Next topic, Mourinho, Jose Mourinho going back to Real Madrid. What is going on in football? I mean, I don't know if this is good news or bad news. I don't even know how to react to this gift. I mean, you are a fan of the of the La Liga, so you should be able to tell us your thoughts on Mourinho going back to Madrid.
Um, I think I see it in two ways.
Okay.
First of all, on the positive, Mourinho was brought in to, bring calmness to that team because almost all of them are just running haywire, if I will use that word. Mbappe looks uncontrollable, Vinicius looks uncontrollable, and then all of them have their egos and all that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Even though I felt that Real Madrid shouldn't have signed Mbappe because they at that point what they needed was a Haaland in that team, and they just signed Mbappe, and now both of them are just looking for who will be the chief of the team.
Yeah.
So they looked at Alonso like, you have not done anything in football. You are young. I think I have more achievements than you recently. So why should I respect you? Mbappe is a World Cup winner. I think 2018. Vinicius won the FIFA the best award. So these boys are big boys in the game. So
True.
they looked uncontrollable. Carlo Ancelotti, who was like a father in that team, was able to control this guy. So they needed a Mourinho or even an
Mm.
Ancelotti. But because Ancelotti left, he's now in Brazil. So they needed this kind of coach who who is like a father figure to them that will bring them down so that if he talks, they will listen. That's what that team needs as it stands now. They
Yeah.
need somebody like a father. I'm talking to you. I've done this. I've done this. I've won the Mourinho has won the Champions League. He has won everywhere he has always gone. So who are you, Vinicius, to talk to Mourinho?
Okay,
I'm
so
thinking
on that
that's
note now, right, Keith, on that point now, let me just ask Aubrey this, right? So do you think that modern football has moved beyond Mourinho?
Well, Mourinho has had a very weird run as regards coaching in the last couple of years. I think
Yeah.
since his last big job at Manchester United, he has gone to Tottenham, from Tottenham to Roma, Roma to is it
fair.
Fenerbahce,
Fenerbahce, yeah.
Fenerbahce to Benfica, and now he's back at one of the biggest clubs in the world. It's
Hmm.
like Marino is a weird man as well. So I think it just aligns with who Marino is. But is this because is he going to reinvent himself? I don't doubt Marino as well. I think I see Marino as a very brilliant and like intelligent man. But when it comes to football moving pass, because that is what people said about Carlos Ancelotti
Ancelotti. Yeah.
when he was brought in from Everton. They said, "Oh, the footballers move past," and then he came in there and he won 2 Champions League. So
Yeah.
sometimes when you go to a team like Madrid, hmm, with all these star names on the roster, with all these big ego, I think the first thing stabilizing the team is sometimes can be far more important than the tactics.
Okay.
Understand? Stabilizing and getting the best out of these individual players
Yeah.
can even be more effective than the tiki taka. Mm? So maybe because Florentino Perez, the Madrid president, he has been on a whole media this thing run. He's been acting out of character for the past weeks and stuff. So when you're going to, I think a team like that needs strong men, needs strong mentalities, and is rooted in the DNA of the club. If you're a calm, charismatic young man like Jabi Alonso, it's not about it's not about what you've won. Jabi Alonso is a young coach. As a player, there's no player at Madrid that have won what Jabi Alonso won as a player. If Mbappe talk about the World Cup, Jabi Alonso has also won a World Cup. He has won two Euros. He has won La Ligas. He has won everything that Mbappe won. And then him as a coach as well, going to Germany to play unbeaten in a team that is mainly dominated by Bayern Munich. It's impressive. That is a very impressive CV. So to me, Alonso's things at Madrid, he wasn't like kind of successful because he wasn't good as a coach. It's just that when it comes to that, Jabi Alonso is a gentleman. He's not someone that will go to the media to bash players or get to. He's a very calm gentleman, and maybe that is not the kind of people that, just like Hope said about the kind of coaches that succeed at Madrid. There are coaches that you can't you have to be like a little bit crazy. See, Zidane can be calm, but Zidane is a psycho as well.
Exactly.
People
All
don't
right,
know
guys.
that.
Yeah. Okay, guys. We're running out of time, right? But Gabe,
Uh,
let me just ask you two questions in one now, and it's about Mourinho's return to Madrid. Now, do you think that the fans will tolerate Mourinho's style of football now? And do you think that Real Madrid's move to bring him back is a strategic move or one that is nostalgic? Two questions in one. So, the fans, how would the fans react to Mourinho's style of football now?
Fans of Real Madrid
Yes.
currently do not have a choice. Yes, because Barcelona has totally embarrassed them. Winning a title on their head is the highest embarrassment you can give to them because these are direct rivals. So what they need is anybody, just anybody who can do something for them. So as it stands,
Okay.
the fans of Real Madrid will solidly back Mourinho because Mourinho coming back to Real Madrid, they feel that this is light coming to us after how many 2 seasons going trophyless with the two best, arguably the two best players in the world and the best goalkeeper in the world, and you're still going trophyless. So Mourinho, and Mourinho is an instant an instant hit anywhere he goes. He likes to win
Yeah.
trophies instantly. That's one problem I have with Mourinho. He can come and deliver title to you,
mm,
but what is his impact in the long run? You find out that there's nothing. He comes and gives you what you want, title, and he goes. And Real Madrid don't care. What they want is
Results.
As a Madrid fan or Madrid coach, Madrid president, there are two things they want: beat Barcelona and win title for me. These are the things they want.
Okay.
Once
So
you
the
beat
second part of
Barcelona,
that
you win
question.
title. If Mourinho can do this, every fan will be behind him.
Okay. So do you think that this move then is strategic or is it just nostalgic? From what you're
Eh,
saying, it sounds like it's strategic, isn't it?
yeah, it's strategic, very, very strategic. Because in the past years, there's no authority over the players that can say
Mm,
do this and they rush to do it. They will sub somebody and he will complain. If you complain to Mourinho, Mourinho sold out a Real Madrid legend when he was there. Iker Casillas complained and he sold Casillas to Porto.
yeah.
He had problems with Ramos. Ramos, that is like the biggest name in Real Madrid with Ronaldo. So if Mourinho comes, it's strategy. He's coming to set everything straight. This
mm.
is how you do it, and if you don't do it, you go. He's not
Okay.
scared of anybody. He's not afraid. He will ask. I'm sure Mourinho will ask the president to give him all the power because if he does not give him all the power, Mourinho cannot function if you don't give him all the power. So it's strategy.
Yeah. Okay. We'll end the show very soon. But before we do that, let's just do some quick fire questions now. Now, I'm going to ask these questions to both of you, and I want you guys to answer straight up. You don't need to think about it too much. Who is the best manager in football today? Aubrey.
Luis Enrique.
Okay. Gift.
I'm thinking. Well, I
Don't
can
overthink
say
it. Come on,
Luis
it's
Enrique.
Michael Carrick. It's Michael Carrick. It's easy.
I'm saying what I'm thinking is, if you give Hansi Flick the kind of players that Enrique has, he will do just as much.
You don't know
How do you
that.
mean? How do you mean the kind of players? What do you mean by the kind of
Take
players?
Luis Enrique.
Uh,
Sorry, take Hansi Flick to PSG, and
uh.
he will deliver the Champions League and the league.
Now, if you're talking
Current PSG.
if you're talking about players, there's one thing that people don't really understand when it comes to comparing players. Who was Vitinha before Luis Enrique? He was a flop at Wolves. Who was okay? João Neves was a wonder kid from Benfica, right? And then like these are players that have improved
Was Gerard
under the
Martin
manager.
before
These
Flick?
are
Who was
players that
that?
have improved under the manager, and even like the Flick has players that he also has improved as well. So you can't say because if you compare side to side, you find out that these players, they have the same ceiling or closely.
Okay,
You have
Aubrey.
Yamal, you have Rafinha, you have one of the best strikers in the world.
Okay, Aubrey.
Lewandowski.
So this segment was meant to be quick fire. We
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
need to hang
Gifts.
on. So let's react to this question again from Mr. Flex. He wants to know which La Liga team you support, Aubrey.
Which La Liga team I support? I'm not a
Yeah.
supporter of any La Liga team.
There you go, Flex.
I'm a
He
Chelsea
doesn't.
fan.
So, okay. Then again, so I think Flex was reacting to the question I asked about the best manager right now, and he says it's Pep Guardiola. Okay, you guys, which is the most overrated team?
The most overrated team right now.
Overrated team, yes.
Right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be looking at I think Real Madrid.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also go with him. It's Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, they have all the stars and they have gone trophyless for the past 2 seasons. So
Yeah, that's true.
they are overrated.
Yeah, very, very
Yeah,
well.
so
Okay, last question before we end the show. Give me one bold prediction for next season. It could be in the Premier League, it could be in the Champions League, it could be anywhere. Something bold next
now I
season.
come to you with the future. Xabi Alonso is coming. And
To
Chelsea is
Chelsea,
going
yeah.
to be playing one game a week. Chelsea will be in the position that Manchester United have benefited from this season. One game a week. The last time I played one game a week, I won the league and I won the title. So be careful, guys. Be very careful. Xabi Alonso is coming in. He's a new dawn. This is my first manager since Jose Mourinho in 2013. Chelsea haven't had a manager since then. We have had head coaches. And if you look at Arteta has been the Arsenal manager. He has been given the keys to the city. He has been given the keys to the club. He actually makes decisions as to signing, as to everything that, and then look at what he has done. So Xabi Alonso, which I feel Xabi Alonso is a more better coach than Arteta, coming in, and then he has the key to the club. I'm actually still very worried about Bluco, about my honors, because I don't trust them. I don't trust them. But if they give Xabi Alonso the time, they give him the resources, and they give him the keys to handle the team, I feel like Chelsea actually going to be one of the dark horses of the Premier League next season, judging from the fact that I don't even want them to qualify for any like European competition this season. Let's concentrate on the Premier League and then FA Cup.
Okay, fantastic gift. So before you answer that question, right, just react to another comment by Mr. Flex. He said that Barcelona are the most overrated.
You can't doubt it, actually.
In terms of what? Barcelona has a bunch of teenagers playing for them.
So Flex, make yourself clear in terms of what gift is asking. In terms of what?
But they have a bunch of teenagers playing for them. Their starting center back is Kubasi. He's 19. Their best player is a 19-year-old. So how are they overrated? And they won the league. We are talking about Real Madrid, who have over 100 million players. I can count
Mm,
5 players that are over 100 million. If you want me to count Mbappe, Vinicius, Bellingham, Fede Valverde,
mm,
Eder Militao, over 5. Chouameni, Kamavinga. Chouameni was bought for 100 million. Same thing with Bellingham. And they have gone 2 straight seasons without a trophy. What is so in terms of overrating, Real Madrid is overrated with
mm.
those
Yeah.
points.
Okay. Aubrey, so Mr.
Hmm?
Flex has come back to you, and he's saying that, yeah, that Chelsea are not going to be playing one game per season. That you guys have qualified for the Conference League, so you'll be playing in the Conference League.
By
I don't
beating
know. I don't know
Tottenham.
what Conference League is about. Like, wait. To be honest,
You've won it before. Go and win it again.
I don't care about Conference League. To me, if I'm just playing Conference League, it means that my second team will actually be playing Conference League maybe till till the later stages, semi-final or so. So we should still have, our first team should be fresh, kept fresh. I don't care about the Conference League, and I know Jabi Alonso doesn't care about the Conference League as well. So
Okay.
we should
Okay.
have players that play the Conference League, and then we should have, you know, players should be players like Rhys James. I think Rhys James, like, injury has really dealt with him over, like, this past couple of years and stuff. So it should be kept fresh. Cole Palmer.
True.
Cole
True.
Palmer is going into a season where I'm looking at him critically. Mr. Ice. Like, this season he has been, maybe people will say injury and everything, but there are some players that come back from injury and then they come back better. Players come back from injury and then they take time to, like, acclimatize to the level that they were before. And sometimes players come back from injury and they decline. So I don't know
Yeah.
which part Kopama is going to take from these 3 parts that's available to him. Whether he's going to step up, because I've watched Levi Colwill. To be honest, these last 2 games he has played, he has been sidelined for the whole season, and then he comes back, and I'm seeing that new maturity in him. Like, the way he plays, is like, his passes are now more clinical than before. So these are players that, while they were injured, they took time off, to watch the game, analyze themselves, to say, okay, these are areas that I'm actually going to, like improve on once I return to the field. But, well, let's see what Kopama does next season. But
Okay.
yeah,
Gift. So the question to you, and then we have to end the show now. One bold prediction for next season.
Okay, Mourinho is coming to Real Madrid, and the whole
Yeah.
world is what they will come and say. Mourinho will beat Barcelona and win the league. My bold statement is that Barcelona will retain the league next season, despite Mourinho coming to the league, unless they sign Rodri from Manchester City.
mm.
That's all.
You know
Okay,
what?
that's
I want
bold.
to I want to I want to predict again. I feel like this Mourinho move is going to backfire. Yeah, yeah. I feel like it's going to backfire. Like, I feel like he's going to come into the team and he's going to, there's a history now between Mourinho and Vinicius Junior. I don't know how that is going to play out. And Vinicius Junior is a very reactive person, and I feel like he's a very, like emotional man, and he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's just, and with the whole racism stuff that happened between Benfica and Madrid, and then Mourinho's comments and everything, that is something that we need to
Oh
look out on,
yeah.
actually. Mm. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
let's see. But I feel like it's going to backfire.
All right, gentlemen, we've come to the end of the show. We are just approaching the 1 hour mark. It's been
Mm.
an absolute pleasure having you guys on the show, Aubrey, Gift, and those on the chat, Mr. Flake. You were very active. Thanks for that. Emeka, the captain, and Akintunde, Damola, everyone that participated, Malaki, everyone, thanks for joining. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please ensure you do so. Like, share, and subscribe. Until the next episode, everyone, take care of yourselves and each other.
Last words. Once again, congrats to Arsenal fans all over the
Congrats,
world.
Arsenal.
Yeah, I
Just
think they deserve it, and I hope you lose the
done
Champions League
well.
final. And
But you know what? I think they're going to win the Champions League final. I really think they are.
if they win it, kudos to them. Kudos to them.
Yeah.
But they should enjoy. Jabi Alonso is coming. They should enjoy.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Thank you,
Kudos,
everyone.
guys.
See you next
Yeah.
time.